I'm making a fresh milled flour cherry vanilla cake. Welcome to White Shadow Fare. Make it homemade and make it with love. I started by milling some soft white wheat into a large bowl. I'm adding 2 room temperature eggs. Whenever you're baking, always use room temperature ingredients. 1 cup of cane sugar, 227 grams. Cane sugar is slightly less processed sugar. White sugar would work as well. You're going to take this mixture and you're going to mix it for 2 minutes, getting it to a very pale yellow stage where it is light and fluffy. I decided to make this cake because a few weeks back I canned some sour cherries, and I had some extra cherries after I made my pie filling, and I just canned those in a light syrup. That is what I'm using for this recipe, but fresh cherries would work just as well. It's a very easy cake and it freezes well. So here you can see that it has changed color and it has gotten very fluffy, and we are ready to start adding some more ingredients. Scrape down that bowl, make sure that you've gotten all of it incorporated. And to this you're going to add some oil. Now I use a very neutral oil like avocado oil, but whatever you would normally add to a cake, you'll need 1/4 of a cup or 54 grams. You're using the oil to add moisture to your cake. Now when baking with fresh milled flour, your shelf life is even shorter than when you're using regular flour. So think that you have 2 to 3 days. So anything you're not going to eat in that amount of time, this is the perfect cake where it will freeze well. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, about 9 grams. I've never made my own vanilla extract. I hear that it's easy to do, so it's something that's definitely on my list to give a try. Once you have the vanilla blended in well, you're going to add some salt. You need 1/4 teaspoon or 2 grams of salt. I use Redmond's real salt. It's just less processed. Use whatever you have on hand, that'll be fine. Once the salt is blended in, you need 1/4 cup of milk, or 61 grams. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment below. It would really help my channel out. In a small separate bowl, add 2 cups of soft white wheat, 226 grams, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder, about 9 grams. Now I'm not sure why I got so lazy here and I didn't move the bowl out of the way, but I thought, hey, holding on to this bowl makes a lot of sense. It really doesn't. Whisk this together. Get that baking powder well incorporated. And you'll have 1 cup of sour cream, 230 grams. Add about 1/2 of the sour cream. Blend that in, and once you have it pretty well blended in, you're going to add about 1/2 of the flour mixture. We add our dry ingredients a little bit at a time so that we can avoid clumping. So I'm just adding the second half of the sour cream. Sour cream is going to add moisture to your cake without adding too much liquid and making your batter too thin. Make sure you're using the full fat sour cream. And by adding the sour cream and the dry ingredients in slowly, I'm just avoiding those giant clumps of flour that you might get in a bite of cake that nobody would really enjoy. If you overmix your batter, your cake can become tough, so you want to avoid that. So the wet and dry ingredients are added a little bit at a time to help avoid overmixing and to help avoid having clumps of flour. Make sure that you have scraped down the sides and the bottom of your bowl and give it one last mix. In a small bowl, add 1 1/4 cups or 200 grams of cherries that you've tossed with a spoonful of fresh milled flour. I am using canned cherries that I drained, but fresh cherries would taste wonderful. And then you're just going to gently add this to your batter. Once again, you want to avoid mixing too vigorously. I'm using sour cherries that I canned myself and put in a light syrup, but fresh sweet cherries would be delicious. Just make sure if you are using canned cherries like I am, that you have drained them well. And if you're using fresh cherries, you're going to want to cut them into halves or quarters. And we're going to put this in a prepared 11 by 7 pan, or you could use a square 9 by 9 pan. Make sure your pan has been greased well. And this cake smells so good. Even without baking it, it just smelled wonderful. Now lately we've been enjoying eating cakes that are a little less sweet, so I'm not putting any frosting on the top of this, but that's something that you definitely could do. I did add a few more cherries because it looked like it was maybe not enough. This is going to get baked in a preheated 350 Fahrenheit oven for 40 to 50 minutes. Make sure that a toothpick inserted in the center comes out mostly clean. You're going to cool this before eating. Oh, it smells heavenly. It is amazing. I really hope that this is something that you'll try because it came out unbelievably well. Make this one for somebody who deserves a special treat for doing something good, or just make it because it is delicious. And remember, with the fresh milled flour, you have a lot more nutrients than you would if you were making this with regular all-purpose flour. It is so good. Your taste buds will be thanking you for making this one. Not only is it moist, the little bursts of cherries are wonderful. It's moist, it freezes well, it's worth the effort. Thank you for watching White Shadow Fare, and I hope you'll give this one a try.